Welcome back, guys. We're currently in the process of climbing the Korean ladder. We're up to Diamond 4 at the moment, and we've got 4 more games for you today. We start off invading because we're playing double Jungle Sion. We've secured the red side, and Lee Sin wants to start on the enemy Raptors. So I decide to head over to the other side of the map, but then Lee Sin, he gets pushed out of the red. Obviously, it's a bit too late for me to rotate to another camp, but Lee Sin, he is not happy. We get very lucky, we can spot Nocturne on the ward we place. This means the entire blue side, it's ours for free. Well, free by my standards. I think we can all agree that this Lee Sin isn't too fond of me, and the Draven probably isn't either. But that's okay, we didn't fly all the way over here to make friends. Something I've noticed about Korea is that there's a lot less ego players. They don't hold things against you. If there's a kill to be taken, they're gonna go ahead and secure that kill. With our first kill secured, this is a positive sign for the team, and very quickly after, the Lee Sin and I start working cohesively together to start picking off the enemy team. Because I ended up stealing that other kill in the mid lane, I decided that I would leash the Lee Sin this camp, even using my spy to show him that I have good intentions, and hopefully from here, we can start working together to secure this win for our team. After this point, we've had 2 successful interactions with the Lee Sin, so I'm not too worried about him being upset anymore. So now our focus, it shifts over to the Draven. He just got that kill, he's in a prime position to deal some damage, and they're going to attempt to shut that down, and we need to make sure that doesn't happen. I could tell just by watching the map that they were posturing to try and stop Draven from reaching the tower, and that's where experience is key, because if we didn't show up here, I guarantee that play would have succeeded for them, and this would put Draven in an awful position. Moments later, we're clearing this red ward, we see the Lee Sin's close, and there's no vision on any of the other brushes that have been revealed, which means once we've cleared that red ward, they don't know Lee Sin's there, and we can path around. This is a 3v1 trap for the enemy team. With both the Lee Sin giving us the thumbs up and then immediately after getting a fist bump from the Draven, this is about as close as we can get to knowing that these guys no longer are despising the double jungle strategy. I even managed to bait out the Nocturne ult right after. This will make laning significantly easier for the Draven. I continue to help Lee Sin with his jungle camps. Even though I almost accidentally stealed his blue buff, my intentions were pure. This allows Lee Sin to have quicker clear times, and a minute later, the 3 amigos are back in this bot lane. You don't really get to see it, but the enemy team, they knew we were here. This exchange, it went on for a while. We had to wait until the minions crash, and this means Nocturne, he's definitely close. We're low HP. The best option is for me to execute and hopefully protect the Draven. Sadly, we didn't have the juice in the passive to finish off the Nocturne. We've now fast forwarded 4 minutes into the future. Our team is in complete control of this game. I continue to hunt for people on the enemy team with this Lee Sin. There's always small things that you can do to help your team get ahead, and in this case, I notice they're having a full-on brawl in the top lane, and its minion wave is going to hit the tower. I decide to hold it for the Draven and stack it in front of the tower. This gets him an amazing amount of gold, which of course he appreciates a lot. There's a change I made in my gameplay while in Korea. It's where I don't use my ultimate right away. Not too long ago, I would have immediately ulted here blindly. These days, I hold the R so that I can use it against the wall instead. I don't know, man. Sometimes Sion ult is just so fucking buggy. I got greedy here with my recall. They did end up punishing me on the way back. Whoops. We once again skip 4 minutes into the future. The Galio, he is out of position and our team manages to successfully collapse onto him. This leads into our team starting the Baron. We've come up on 5 minutes into this video. I hope you're enjoying it. Just reminding you to leave a comment, like the video. It takes a long time to create this series, and leaving comments definitely helps the algorithm push the videos further, so I would appreciate it if you did it. Plus, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. The Baron gets secured. We do lose a couple of the buffs, but not us. We kept ours, and we head to the top lane intending to do a 1-3-1 split. That is, of course, until Draven got caught and a fight breaks out. I need to figure out if the Draven's going to survive long enough for me to actually get there and help. Fortunately, he does manage to stay alive, and once again, we're able to ult in and strategically target the wall. I'm just playing. This team fight was always going to come down to which ADC died. Because Draven just survived, we're given the opportunity to flank and pick off the Aphelios. And once an ADC dies, I mean, that team just needs to either run or die. Now that most of the enemy team has been killed, we can go and clean up the middle inhibitor that we had previously opened earlier. After taking that inhibitor, our team got flushed out into the enemy red side. There wasn't really an opportunity for us to recall, so we're fighting this team fight without a back. Even without resetting, our team is far too ahead. We win the team fight, and that's enough for us to walk through and kill the Nexus, ending the game, claiming us 20 LP, and it also allows us to go from most hated to most honorable by the end of the game. Not a bad start for today, and in game number 2, we're playing Sion support. We've hung up the smite for this game, but that doesn't stop us from invading the enemy jungle. As we're heading back to the bot lane, the Jax bumps into the Cassante at the red buff, and he's threatening to start a fight. I actually don't want this fight to happen. I'm intentionally trying to not come and help. The more people that move over, the more likely a fight's gonna happen. If you look at the wave, it's already about to crash, and clearly this Corki has no teleport, so we have no choice but to full commit to this fight as well. And the reason I say that is because we're losing gold in the bot lane no matter what. If we lose gold here in this jungle fight too, the game very well could be instantly over. It's exactly why I didn't want to take this fight. We do get lucky though, and it goes in our favor, but without a doubt, this is definitely a fight we just should not have taken. As I'm trying to recall to get back to that bot lane, Volibear shows up, and I mean, if the kill's here, there's no point in going back, right? On our second attempt to recall, the Skarner also starts recalling, and I'm not sure why. Not taking this red is criminal, so that's why I decided to stay even longer and leash it for him. By the time we got back to this bot lane, 3 minutes have gone by, we've missed so many waves, and then we're forced to move again because I spot the Volibear rotating towards our Raptors. For whatever reason, the team has given up on this chase, but not me. I intend on chasing this Volibear until the end of time because he has no summoner spells. The time is now 6 minutes. We've officially come to lane. We have 3 kills. The enemy bot lane is only now being introduced to the idea that Sion is the support this game and they have to deal with me. Even though I am low HP, under-leveled, I'm not afraid to go in because I know that I have my passive in my back pocket. Now that we've killed the bot lane, there's no point in returning until the wave has been reset. So I look around the map and see that this top lane is playing a little too aggressive. I don't just walk straight in though. If you had paid attention, I waited until the Cassante used his escape to engage, and this secures me another kill. And yes, I do mean me. I didn't hand that kill over to the Jax. I know I usually do hand over a lot of gold, but if the gold's already on me, I'm at a point where I can potentially carry this game myself, and I'm trying to snowball as quick as possible. For anyone who still doubts the legitimacy of Sion support, these next few clips are going to show you just how obnoxious it is to verse. Unless you are the one playing Sion, then it is very, very fun. As if that Q didn't tag the center as well. To this day, I'm almost positive that this Volibear has no clue where that blue buff went. For those of you who don't climb solo queue regularly, this won't make sense to you, but those who do, you'll understand. I noticed around Diamond 4 to Diamond 3, this bracket, the skill level actually dropped in Korea. The Emerald players were of much higher quality. These guys were making a lot more fundamental mistakes and just poorer decisions. Maybe you can see that as well. I'm not too sure. It is, of course, quite interesting, but it is something that happens in every single server as well. There's like pockets of players that are stuck and it causes issues when you're climbing and you need to slightly adapt what you're doing to get around them. Focusing back in on where the game state's at, our team clearly has a kill lead, but you must remember most of these kills, they're actually on us. We have 9 of them. So winning this team fight is slightly more critical than you might imagine. Our team does have one thing going for them. They're really good at collapsing and taking the fights compared to the enemy team. They seem very disorganized, almost as if they're not even trying to win anymore. I'm also noticing at this elo that they have a weaker mental state. They try forfeiting a lot quicker. And when the game seems unwinnable, they're more than happy to just take a full-on team fight, even if they know they're not going to win it, to try and end the game quicker. And I do believe that's what's happening right here. Because they have no justifiable reason to try and contest the third Drake against the Baron team when you're already behind over 10 kills. We end up completely wiping them and then pushing through to their base and opening up both inhibitors before we leave. 1 minute later, I've swept my way through the enemy blue side and noticed that they're pretty deep in the mid lane. I simply walked behind them, pressed my E onto center, and this was the final team fight. As simple as that. We've still got the Baron buff, plus both of the inhibitor towers are down, and as soon as these guys die, there's no way they can hold it. We know it, they know it, and that's exactly why they surrendered, and we secure another 20 LP. Now we're sitting on Diamond 4, 72 LP, heading into the third game of the day, in which we are playing Sion support up against a Vel'Koz and a Zeri. This matchup can be kind of difficult depending on if you can slow down the Vel'Koz's aggression, and I tend to do that by just waltzing forward as soon as I can. Pushing them back allows us to get to level 2 first, which usually means we won't get pushed out of the lane from his poke. If you're keeping an eye on the Nocturne's pathing, you'd know it's important that I don't let these guys go back here. We need them to stick around so that we can do a 3v2 tower dive using the Sion passive. Because the Caitlyn had Nocturne in the bot lane, he's going to go for an extra wave, which means if I go to the bot lane, there's going to be no one there. She's going to be recalling on the time I arrive. I may as well go to the mid lane and potentially get some gold for this Ahri. It wasn't immediate, but after a little bit of persistence, the Yone does die to the Ahri, and the Ahri gives us the thumbs up. 2 minutes later, the enemy bot lane has control of this lane. I'm trying to make a play onto the Zeri with the Hex Flash, but it turns out this brush was warded, and we immediately got punished. Fortunately, we had the Nocturne sitting in the jungle with level 6, and he was able to come to the bot lane using that ultimate to pick up some of the gold that I had just handed over. Almost as if time is repeating, as soon as the Caitlyn's going back, I found myself in this mid lane once again, picking off the Yone. We have a free roam. We may as well use it. We know it worked in the mid lane last time, and it worked in the mid lane again. Nocturne picks up this kill. That's 3 in a row he's just gotten. Basically, after we got that double kill in the bot lane, Caitlyn and I were able to muscle our way through. We're now trying to get as many platings as possible before the 14-minute mark. I'm also in this position where we can take any single fight we want, and it's going to be successful because the Nocturne got so many of those kills quite early on. He's basically our golden child. The only thing we need to do is to keep him alive, and if we focus on that, they just have no way of coming back. We're going through this game as fast as possible because we have a team comp that allows us to just set up and siege. We've got long range poke from the Caitlyn. Our top laner, he's winning. Mid laner's winning. We've got the backup of Nocturne. So it doesn't really matter what we do at this point. This team fight is a 4v5, yet we are completely dominating them. You can see each player in our team individually outplaying the others. So there is definitely a team gap. We successfully closed this game out very shortly after. The scoreline ends up at 41-22. Our team just dominated them. We gained 22 LP, which is significantly more than 20, meaning we're fixing our MMR. In the last video, we had 2 new members join, both Tariq and Charlie. Thank you very much. Of course, there are plenty of perks to joining, including member badges, channel emojis, access to the live stream VODs. Plus, when you leave a comment on the videos, it gets sent to a private section in my analytics recognition on the main channel page. If you would like to support the channel and have a shout out in the next video, click that join button next to the channel name today. Game number 4 starts off slightly different than normal. I was AFK at the start of this one, so I'm invading quite late considering we're doing double jungle. You'll notice that we have no vision and we're blind walking in here. I'm kind of hoping that I'm able to steal this camp. We need either the little ones or the big minion to deny him level 2. Obviously, I wasn't expecting to be 3-manned shanked in the jungle, but that did happen. We gained absolutely nothing from this invade. It was a complete fail, more than just a fail, because we used our smite and Lee Sin didn't. So we leashed him, we helped him. But I don't mind showing you these types of games because when you try this strategy yourself, these things are gonna happen and you need to figure out how to come back from it. And this is a prime example of things going literally as bad as they can. We messed up the invade, our ADC died 1v2, and now we're getting killed by all of the enemy team after killing just one camp. The enemy team juggled the aggro quite well. I was hoping that the Nautilus would attack me first, which does happen quite often, but nope, he understood the mission. If Nautilus did attack us, the Glacial would have allowed us to trade back. We're now charging towards our blue buff. We can just assume that Lee's there. He's not silly. He knows that Skarna's taken his blue side. So we're here, and the Anivia is helping us contest it. Killing Lee Sin is a massive step to coming back. I'm now in a very awkward spot. Obviously, I want to help, but I have no cooldown. So if I go and help, all I can do is auto attack. I also want to catch back up, so I want to keep killing this blue, but then it resets. Everything just was not going in our favor. From this point, I just buckled down and started farming as much as I can, which Skarna wasn't the biggest fan of, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to come back, right? I can't go to the bot lane. I'm too far behind. Most of the times, it would actually hinder your ADC to do that at this point. So what I do is I keep farming until I catch back up in experience. Riot have made the jungle basically very, very forgiving for new players. So if you ever fall behind and you have a jungle item, you have a lot of catch-up experience, and we're abusing that right now. We've caught up to Lee Sin's level for the most part, and even if we're not the exact level, because we're Sion, that level gap means nothing to us. We can start stealing his camps again. And you guys also need to understand that he's the one on a clock here. My Skarner got to AFK farm that entire time he was messing around with us. We're not in any position that we feel like we need to do anything. All we have to focus on is stealing his camp. He has to focus on winning his lanes, making sure he doesn't die to the overlevel Skarner. It's very easy for us to just relax and steal shit. And relax and steal shit was exactly what I did while my team actively beat their lanes. And you can claim luck all you want, but the fact is, Skarner AFK farms get the level lead. Lee Sin, he feels pressured to invade because I'm stealing his camps. This puts him in awkward positions, and that's exactly how those triple kills happen. That's how I keep getting quote-unquote carried. It's because of Lee Sin's busy fighting the support. He's won the support versus jungle battle, but the jungle versus jungle battle, that clearly goes to our jungler. And never forget, this is the worst this strategy can do. Like, everything went wrong. We screwed up multiple times, yet look at the level difference between the Lee Sin and me. It's nothing. There's no level difference. We're the same level. But look at the gap between our jungler and him. The time is now 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, I don't need to look at the goal graph to tell you that's the exact moment everything changed for our team. Yes, they've been carrying us, but now I also have tempo. And there you go. That's how to get carried after things go wrong. We end up getting to Diamond 3 this episode. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a comment, like the video, and of course, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Y'all ain't on this level, bitches, Tilterella. Y'all can never beat them like a knocker.